He is Calgary's all-star quarterback.
Glavich calls his own number, finds the end zone, touchdown.
But before leading the Dinos, Eric Glavich was leading the Huskies.
Huskies, Eric Glavich.
In 2007, he won the Heck Crichton Trophy and took St. Mary's all the way to the Vanier Cup before being sidelined by a knee injury. Today, Glavich is hoping to beat his former team with a trip to the Vanier Cup on the line. It's the Dinos and the Huskies. Next. Welcome to Husky Stadium on the campus of St. Mary's University. It's the Uteck Bowl on TSN, a top 6 CIS showdown between Calgary and St. Mary's. And hi, everybody. I'm Paul Hollingsworth. Welcome to Halifax as TSN's coverage kicks off here for the 2009 Uteck Bowl. And this is a game loaded with subplots, namely the fractured friendship of both head coaches. Steve Samara and Blake Nill, best friends, colleagues for 14 years. Nill moves on to Calgary. Samara takes over the program at St. Mary's. And Eric Glavich, the former Heck Crichton winner at St. Mary's, follows his former head coach Nill to the Calgary Dinos. And that has caused a rift. With more on that, and we offer a maritime welcome to TSN's Rod Black and Dwayne Ford. Here to call the game today on TSN, guys.
All right, thank you, Paul. Yes, lost in the Blake Nill shuffle, of course. Eric Glavich going to Calgary. 2 years ago, folks, Eric Glavich was a hero here in Halifax. Not so much anymore.
No, and you look at this situation, you have the two teams here in St. Mary's and Calgary who lost in the national semifinals a year ago. Now, Steve Samara, the St. Mary's coach, was thinking, if I had a healthy Eric Glavich, I might get to the Vanier Cup. Little did he know that 3 time zones away, his old friend Blake Nill was thinking the same thing. The quarterback decided to move west for a chance to play with the Dinos. Also a very strong contender. Well, he makes them an even better contender. This is one of the most talented players in the country. Canada West's nominee for the Heck Crichton Award. He can run, he can throw, and he's got a great arsenal of weapons surrounding him.
One of two things can happen. He could be intimidated by this hostile environment, or he can embrace it.
Yeah, certainly. And Eric Glavich is a guy who has played in this stadium before. He knows what visiting teams get. There are going to be no surprises for him. And the pressure's not all on Glavich. He's got great receivers in Nathan Kuhorn, Anthony Parker, and a tremendous running back in Matt Walter to back him up.
And the St. Mary's Huskies trying to stop Eric Glavich. A game dripping with delicious irony. We sent it to Paul Hollingsworth.
And Rod, it's a beautiful day for football in the Maritimes. We are set to go. Calgary and St. Mary's, the kickoff next on TSN.
CIS football on TSN is brought to you in part by Desjardins. The largest cooperative financial group in Canada is proud to support Canadian inter-university sport. By Mitsubishi Motors, makers of the best back cars in the world. By Wilson, the only football on the field for all the CFL and CIS teams. Wilson, #1 in football. And by BlackBerry. Get the best phones on the best network, like the BlackBerry Bold 9700, global smartphone from Bell.
Alphonse Desjardins, born in Lévis in 1854, the 8th child in a family of 15. In 1900, he has an idea to ensure individuals' financial stability through strength in numbers and mutual support. And now, we're nearly 6 million members. Today, that's called sustainable development. Anyway, if he were alive today, I'd definitely invite him to our end-of-term party. Nice mustache.
It's more than a bank. It's Desjardins.
So true. So I say to him, get this. Hey, Jamur, Coach wants to see you in his office. But I'm soapy. Hey, Coach.
Have a seat. Listen, Jimmer, I'm just going to come out with it.
Come out with what?
Yellow. Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Doing what?
Yeah, he's sitting right here. Yeah, I'm going to tell him.
What? Tell me what?
You've been traded.
Traded? What about my no-trade clause?
Crying out loud, you're a trading card.
McDonald's NHL Upper Deck hockey cards are back. Let the trade talks begin.
Welcome back to the Uteck Bowl here at Husky Stadium on the St. Mary's University campus in Halifax, Nova Scotia. It was sunny, it was warm this morning, it's cooling down. The wind from the east, 29 kilometers an hour. It will be blowing today. We have a possibility of some rain to come a little bit later. We have also the possibility for some hostile fans here. A guy that they used to cheer, Blake Nill, former head coach, guy who led his team to 2 Vanier Cup championships here in Halifax.
Yep, Blake Nill, former St. Mary's head coach, as you said, 2-time Vanier Cup champion with the Huskies, now in his 4th year with the Calgary Dinos, looking to get them to the big game for the first time since his arrival. The man who took over for him, his longtime friend and associate, former Huskies offensive coordinator Steve Samara, now the head coach. He's the Atlantic Conference Coach of the Year. Steve Samara guided the Huskies to the Vanier Cup game in 2007, looking to get them back in 09.
There is the quarterback for the St. Mary's Huskies, Jack Creighton. Regular season numbers, a win last week over St. Francis Xavier. Earned them a shot again at the Uteck Bowl, a win away from going to Laval next week to play for the Vanier Cup. Justin Pilardi is ready to kick this game off. Calgary Dinos with their return men. Emilio Violato, Anthony Parker, both back. A big crowd here today. Kind of a funky wind, Dwayne. It's going across the field, so premium on the place kickers for accuracy today. We are ready. We are underway. The 2009 Uteck Bowl. Anthony Parker has it. Cuts back, reverses field again. Parker with running room to the 40. And is finally dropped at the 49-yard line by Jeff Zielinski. Good field position right away for Eric Glavich and company.
And Eric Glavich will go to work. He is the key, obviously, to this Calgary offense, but he'll be joined in the backfield by running back Matt Walter. His receiving core, led, of course, by Anthony Parker and Nathan Kuhorn. Keep an eye on Richard Snyder, had over 200 yards against Saskatchewan last week. The offensive line anchored by big right tackle, Kirby Fabian.
Starting lineups brought to you by Desjardins. Quickly running up the gut was Matt Walter. You'll hear a lot from him, last year's Canada West most outstanding player.
Matt Walter and Eric Glavich will have a tough test today, particularly with this front four, led by defensive end Devin Hicks, AUS Lineman of the Year nominee for the Metris Trophy. All 3 linebackers, Fontaine, King, and Heck, Alberta natives. On the back end, free safety, Calgarian, Sal Borhat.
Second down, 7 yards to go, throwing down, but Glavich gives it up the middle again to Walter, and he's stuffed. And so right away, the Calgary Dinos will have to kick this football away.
Well, by that play call, a very sure sign, Rod, that the Dinos are going to be committed to the run and establishing the run. When they call a play like that, the 2nd and long situation, they want to send the message that they are going to run that football often for St. Mary's to honor that commitment.
Aaron Ifield is back to kick. Back to receive is Ahmed Borhat for the St. Mary's Huskies. And an injury on the field. Husky is down right now. And shoot.
Dan Shute, an all-Canadian defensive tackle. Another of the many St. Mary's Huskies to come through the Edmonton Junior program. Be a key part of their run defense here today. They don't want to see him on those sidelines for very long.
So now we're ready to kick this away. Aaron Ifield averaging a shade under 40 yards per kick. And again, with this swirling wind, will be tough for placement today. Trying to angle these kicks.
Oh, bobble snap. Gets it away, end over ender, and the bounce. And a quick hop down to Morhot. Morhot now still on his feet. Spin and a fumble, but there was a whistle. There's also a penalty marker down. As we bring on Jack Creighton. The name is familiar. Hockey fans would know that name, wouldn't they?
Yeah, Creighton, the son of former NHLer Adam Creighton, has his dad's height, a big pivot, 6'4", 195 pounds. His receiving core is led by the fifth-year veteran, Carl Hardwick. Offensive line anchored by the veteran center, real warrior for this group, heart and soul guy, Derek Weber.
It's a holding call on the return, so the Huskies will begin inside their 10-yard line. A long field to go here for St. Mary's, team that averages 33.2 points per game. Young Jack Creighton in the shotgun. This is a team that can pound the football on the ground and expect a lot of that from them too. But they go to the air right away. Creighton down the sideline. Looking for Aaron Rasiopa. But that was overthrown.
Well, one of the overshadowed elements in this football game, because of all the explosive players on that Calgary offense, is certainly their D. Great defensive line there, led by veteran D.G. Otawole, another of the St. Mary's transfers playing for the Dinos, as his middle linebacker, Andrea Bonaventura, and cornerback, Steve Truzak.
Craig Legier in the backfield with Creighton. Will have to throw again on 2nd and 10 over the middle, and the pass thrown behind Carl Hardwick. So now decision time for the St. Mary's Huskies right out of the chute because of the wind again, and the fact they're backed up to their 8-yard line.
Field position certainly hurts. This isn't a, you don't want to give this Calgary offense a short field, particularly in the early going.
2 returners back. Pilardi in his end zone. Will he give up 2 or will he kick it away?
Third down.
Pilardi will take the knee, give up 2 points. And the Dinos will have the ball. They have the lead early on here thanks to the safety touch.
I used to have the worst cell phone plan ever. It was so expensive come holiday time, I had to take a second job. Then I gave myself Fido. They've got talk and text plans from $15 a month, no system access fees, and phones at $0, like my BlackBerry Pearl. Now I'm saving so much on my plan, my holidays are actually holidays. Thanks, Fido.
Gibson's finest Canadian whiskey. So smooth it begs the question to mix or not to mix. What happens next is up to you. Gibson's finest. Your whiskey, your way.
There's a reason why guys like the fragrance of New Degree men's deodorant. New Degree men's deodorant. Mind-blowing fragrances.
Standing room only here at Husky Stadium. Friend of yours, Dwayne Ford? You like that chicken?
I am a big fan of the chicken. That is a great ensemble.
Great crowd here. St. Mary's Huskies looking to advance to the Vanier Cup a week from today in Laval. But the powerful Calgary Dinos in their way, number 2 ranked team in the nation. 2-0 lead. Little pooch kick here by Pilardi. Violato lets it go through his legs and wisely knocks it out of bounds.
The St. Mary's Huskies, after the damage done on the opening kickoff returned by Anthony Parker, looked to kick away from the speedy Dinos receiver. They lined it up on the offensive right hash, the return team's right hash. Parker switched to that side. So that's when they opted to go for the moonshot across the field. As you said, good decision by Violato. Just maintain possession and avoid risking a turnover deep in their own territory.
Eric Lavich now behind center. This time he throws. Quick hitter to Anthony Parker. And quickly a first down.
Pass is completed by Lavich.
Anthony Parker may be afforded a little more space than usual this week, and that's thanks to the performance last week of Richard Snyder, slot back on the other side of the field. Parker and Nathan Kuhorn, of course, the two primary targets, guys who account for about 60% of the receiving yards for this football team. They tend to attract a lot of attention. Last week, Snyder balanced things off with 7 catches, 222 yards, and 2 touchdowns against the Saskatchewan Huskies.
Handoff up the pipe. There goes Matt Walter for a first down, and you can see how dangerous number 9 can be. Third-year, 20-year-old science student. Last year rushed for 1,103 yards, 9 touchdowns.
Great cutback on that play by Matt Walter, and this is a guy who gets overshadowed in this offense, particularly by his quarterback. This year, Eric Lavich is the Canada West nominee for the Heck Crichton Award. Last year, it was Matt Walter. The season before that, he was the Canada West Rookie of the Year, so this is a guy with a great CIS resume himself.
Lavich tosses the towel away from the center. Here's a little reverse now, and it's Parker with a straight arm. Hard to bring down. Anthony Parker doesn't get much, however.
Anthony Parker.
Well, Anthony Parker, for my money, is perhaps the most explosive player in the country. But free safety Salim Borhat is the guy who defends this play as he flows to contain, keeps outside leverage. He forces Parker back in, waits for help to come on the play. Good recognition from the free safety spot, and he takes a good angle. That was the most important part of this play, is the pursuit angle that he took to make sure Parker didn't get to the outside.
Spread offense with Walter in the backfield. Takes it again. And Matt Walter rumbles for a first down. And unable to wrap up Matt Walter that time.
Well, the misdirection and the way that they're forced to honor Parker coming around left to right on that reverse. Jeff Heck, the strong linebacker, number 24, overruns this play because he's chasing Parker. Runs right by the ball carrier, Matt Walter. This is the impact that you see when you have that sort of explosive offensive talent on your team. He takes a lot of the attention, a lot of the pressure away from the other players.
This is a dinosaur team, the Calgary Dinos, who very fortunate to get past Saskatchewan last week in Saskatoon, winning by a single point, 39-38, a thriller.
Those two teams had a couple of great battles this season. Aside from that playoff when they opened the season with an overtime game won by the Huskies.
First and 10 now from the Husky 54. Over the middle and almost picked off by free safety Salim Borhat.
Borhat, the Calgary native, one who came west to join the St. Mary's Huskies. A veteran in that secondary.
Let's go,
His help will be key in balancing the play of those receivers. Snyder's big plays last week, many came right down the seam.
Second and 10, Lavich pump fake, and this one is picked off by Borhat. And Lavich was hit as he threw the football, and he's hurt, and the penalty is against St. Mary's. Now it's going to be very interesting to see how the officials call this one. Referee John Peters. Now here's Lavich. He's hit. The ball's intercepted by Borhat. I think this is still going to be Calgary football.
A shot to the head on the quarterback, Lavich.
Unnecessary roughness. St. Mary's, number 59. 15-yard penalty, first down Calgary.
That's Devin Hicks. Again, the American-born player. Guy who tried out with Green Bay in the NFL and a couple of CFL teams. But the big story right now is the fact that Eric Glavich is now out of this ball game, albeit maybe temporarily, but he looks like he's banged up. And into the game comes Deke Jr.
The Calgary Dinosaurs fortunate to have Deke Jr. Jr. was actually their starter last season. Led this team to the national semifinals where they lost against Laval last season. But an experienced starter nonetheless, hasn't had a great opportunity to play this year, throwing just 23 passes.
So first down after the penalty, and Walter turns again. And based on the spot, we'll move the chains once more. Might be a little bit shy here. So Deke Jr.'s in the game. Eric Glavich is now on the sideline. Our Paul Hollingsworth is on this sideline, so he'll give us a report as soon as he gets one. What a turn of events that is early in this ball game with Glavich out.
Well, it certainly has been, but this is where Deke Jr. and the attitude that he's had throughout this season is going to be important for the Calgary Dinos. Head coach Blake Nill has suggested from the start that he loved the outlook of his deposed starter, Jr., who remained positive even though he had been replaced in that role.
Let's go down to Paul Hollingsworth.
Rod, there working behind me on Eric Glavich. It appeared to be an arm injury. It looks like it's a shoulder injury there, putting their hands up underneath the shoulder pad. He is in a lot of pain, and we talked about the rivalry between the two coaching staffs. Both sets of coaches screaming back and forth at each other. It is getting hot after that hit on Eric Glavich. Both teams going at each other, and the referees at the stand between them telling the coaches to back off as Eric Glavich walked off the field, Rod.
Well, again, you know, history might suggest that we might have some of that emotion today. Second down keeper from Deke Jr. They'll move the yardsticks now inside the St. Mary's 25-yard line. Here's the hit one more time, Dwayne.
And Glavich, just after he releases the ball, this isn't a late hit. It's the high hit from Devin Hicks that draws the flag. Glavich with that right arm up and extended, putting his shoulder at some risk as he went down.
He looks like he might be ready to come back in, though. He's on the sideline, helmet on. Walter, backfield, takes the handoff again. Nine and a half minutes to go, opening quarter.
And the Dinos being carried right now by running back Matt Walter, who's been a busy man here in the first quarter.
Glavich looks all right over there. So Calgary Dino fans and Blake Nill in particular breathing a little sigh of relief. Deke Jr. will continue to operate on this drive for the moment. Second down, 4 yards to go. Jr. alongside Walter at his hip, but penalty flag flies. And it's time count violation against the Dinos. Jr. will leave the field and Glavich will come back in.
Yeah, good news, bad news
Time count
scenario
violation
for the Calgary Dinos.
Calgary, number 7. Repeat second down.
A guy who 2 years ago only heard cheers here at St. Mary's. And you might think they might be a little miffed here that Glavich did go west to follow Blake Nill. Second down, 9 yards. Penalty marker again. Glavich goes to the end zone. And he overthrows the intended target, Nathan Kuhorn. There's a penalty marker back there, but there was one that was also thrown at the snap of the ball. So interference likely in the end zone, of course, but we'll see what that first marker was about.
I'm not convinced that that shoulder of Eric Glavich is 100%. After he launches a deep ball on his first play back in, he appears to flinch just a little bit. Wonder if there was a twitch of pain in the end zone. There's Kuhorn with the... Well, the fan is in the background, certainly convinced that there should be no flag. He, of course, has no authority, no jurisdiction here today.
Some of those fans think that, though. This is the man who does have the authority. And it will, again, move these chains. Trying to sort it out. Again, a penalty marker flew right from the snap, and then, of course, later the interference call. Steve Samara is not very happy right now with the call.
Some serious deliberations happening down there.
There are some TV miniseries that last shorter than this. Well, I guess you want to get it right. A lot of conversation going on. Apparently looking at where to place the ball, the offside call and the pass interference. Right now the ball is inside the 15-yard line.
Situation being explained to the coaches, particularly Steve Samara, who's not happy with the spot.
Well, now they're going to move the ball back. It's going to be placed near the 30. So Samara, I think, may have won his argument. A lot happier probably about this placement than a few moments ago.
Yeah, sorting this out needs to be a little bit less of a democracy.
I'm waiting for an 800 number to call and just kind of vote it. And now the ball is at the 23-yard line. This ball has moved quite a lot over the last few moments. Okay, are we set?
Well, somebody needs to tell the guys holding the first down markers where the ball is.
Okay. It's going to be again.
Well, we thought Eric Glavich and Blake Nils' return to Husky Stadium was going to be the storyline here today. The story is where to put the football.
A lot of waffling going on here. Kind of like being in the House of Commons. And it's going to be third down. So St. Mary's is saying it's third down because of the offside, the penalty being nullified, and it looks like they won their argument. So pays to argue, because I don't know if that was going to be the case a little earlier, and finally the officials came in. So despite the fact it took so long, Aaron Ifield now will come up and attempt this field goal from the 30-yard line. Then we get back to our regularly scheduled football game.
I'm on the ball. We got reported.
In penalties, it was a fine. Third down.
A little early for halftime, isn't it? Took a long time.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, way too long. Highfield with the kick. Puts it through the uprights. And now a 5-0 lead for the Calgary Dinos at the Uteck Bowl in Halifax.
Alphonse Desjardins, born in Lévis in 1854, the 8th child in a family of 15. In 1900, he has an idea to ensure individuals' financial stability through strength in numbers and mutual support. And now, we're nearly 6 million members. Today, that's called sustainable development. Anyway, if he were alive today, I'd definitely invite him to our end-of-term party. Nice mustache.
It's more than a bank. It's Desjardins.
You know what I want?
I want to bring business to my community.
I want to make a difference. I want to start with a seed and watch my efforts grow.
I want to solve real-world problems.
I want to know what makes people tick.
I want to be interesting. I want to cause a reaction. I want to put money to work.
I want to build a legacy.
This is my good side?
I want to show that the sky is not the limit. I want to explore all my options. I want to influence the next generation.
I want to see the world.
How am I going to do it?
I don't know what I want to do, but I'm here to figure it out.
Jack Creighton and the St. Mary's Huskies trying to put some points on the board here. Still early in the first quarter after an interminable delay for placing the football, resulting in the field goal.
We're just thankful there are no challenge flags in CIS football.
Yes. Good point by you, Mr. Ford. Craig Legier. Likely going to call his name a lot today, the power back for the St. Mary's Huskies. 182 yards on 21 carries last week in the win over X.
Well, keep an eye on St. Mary's receiver Aaron Rasiopa. A fierce little job of blocking. Battle over on the corner between he and Steve Truzak. Truzak, a former St. Mary's Husky himself, one of 6 St. Mary's transfers now with the Dinos.
Second down over the middle, but behind the receiver, Joe Doherty. If Doherty was able to get that football in front of him, he might have been able to peel off about 20 yards. He was wide open.
Yeah, things played out perfectly for Joe Doherty on that play. He was running a crossing route. Second level defenders, the linebackers had dropped off deep. He had all sorts of room as he came across the field.
Justin Pillardi.
Good, it's good!
Right into the teeth of the wind. And that is definitely going to be a no yards call. And Huskies actually touching the football. So again, great field position coming up for the Calgary Dinos with 7.5 to go in this opening quarter. Well, the Eastern Final and the Western Final tomorrow on TSN. Lions and the Alouettes at the Big O, and Calgary Stampeders at Mosaic Stadium in Saskatchewan. Final 4 in the Canadian Football League. Final 4 in the CIS today as well.
No yards. St. Mary's, number 39. 5-yard penalty, point of foul, first down.
Close to the midfield stripe go the Dinos. Glavich handing off up the middle. Takes the play action, in fact. Glavich takes it himself, and that's something that Eric Glavich can do a lot of. pull that football back and take off with it. Very quick feet.
Yeah, this is a huge part of his game, just that pure athleticism. Glavich, 6'6", 230 pounds. But he's a runner. This is a guy who also played for the St. Mary's basketball team when he was here in Halifax. Certainly an athletic guy. And with Matt Walter in the run game having been established early, now they can add that play action and quarterback element.
Stephen Lumbala, younger brother of Rolly Lumbala, who will be at Olympic Stadium tomorrow with the BC Lions. So the brothers Lumbala cheering each other on this weekend. First down for Calgary.
Lumbala, the third in the string of brothers, all stars at St. Francis High School in Calgary. The third brother, in fact, Jacques, played for Blake Nill and Steve Samara here at St. Mary's.
First and 10 now from the 42-yard line. Once again, that end around on the reverse. It's Kuhorn again, and there's a penalty marker down on the far side of the field. Nathan Kuhorn, dangerous player, not only on those end arounds, but you throw it up in the air, he is a guy who's going to come down with it.
Kuhorn was the Dinos' second leading receiver this year, led the team in 2008. He was a second-team All-Canadian last year.
Holding, Calgary, number 33, back 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. Repeat, first down.
That's Anthony Parker, the guilty party, so first and 20 now.
First and 20.
Handoff again to Lumbala. Doesn't get to the initial line of scrimmage, so it will set up second down and long for Glavich.
Once again, a little bit of room has opened up in the middle of that defense as Kuhorn came on that end around again, forcing the defenders to spread out and make sure they're defending sideline to sideline. And that's exactly how this Calgary offense attacks from many different angles.
Can West champions against the Atlantic University champions. And Eric Glavich, with some confusion on the field, will take a timeout here and go chat with Blake Nill.
Calgary.
Well, the Atlantic Bowl was the precursor to the Uteck Bowl. And there are a few guys who played in the Atlantic Bowl. Look at, is that my man right there?
That was fast.
You
I used to be fast.
Dwayne Ford showing some stuff there. You know what it's like to play in. There you are now.
Yeah, it brings a tear to my eye.
It does, doesn't it? I was asking you before the game, though. I said, do you ever get, you played in the Canadian Football League, a broadcaster now. Do you ever, miss the romance of university football and being in part of, big games like this?
Yeah, I love the environment of university football, the spirit of the fans, the sense of ownership of the players, the pride they take in the school, the community, and their team. It's a fantastic thing to be around.
Were you wearing shoulder pads there? Those are big shoulders. Second down now, 13 to go. Shotgun for Glavich, looking, pump fake. Now he'll take off with it. Glavich, another penalty marker. Close to a first down, but likely coming back. Probably negated by a holding call. It will be holding against the Dinos. That will be declined, and
regardless of the penalty, you see the abilities of Eric Glavich once he gets on the move. How disciplined the pass rush of the St. Mary's Huskies needs to be to try and contain this guy.
Calgary, number 54, back 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. Repeat, second down.
Second and 23 now, so big stop here from the Husky defense. St. Mary's offense has not been on the field very much here in this first quarter. Trying to get the ball back and get some points on the board. Down 5-0 early. Glavich again, flushed out of the pocket. Lunges head first. And so now Aaron Ifield will kick this ball away.
This is a nice effort in pursuit by defensive end Tyler Matheson. He's on the left side of your screen. Stays disciplined in his rush lane, but as the quarterback comes upfield, he retraces his steps. Diving effort to clip his heels. Glavich could have been gone a long way had Matheson not made that play.
Blake Neal puts the headset on Glavich to talk with coaches upstairs. Ifield from his 50. Ahmed Borhat at his 5. Another penalty marker down on this return. We'll tell you about it when we come back to Huskies Stadium. Jack Creighton and his Huskies back on the field. Question of the game brought to you by BlackBerry. And I know Blake Neal followers in St. Mary's have a lot of questions for him, but here's the question. Where did Blake Neal coach prior to the Dinos and Huskies? We will give you the answer very shortly. Holding call on that return by the Huskies. And again, having problems getting going offensively. Right back to their goal line. Jack Creighton wings one, and it is picked off. Intercepted by Michael Lau. Young corner for the Calgary Dinos. And the Dinos get the ball right back.
Michael Lau steps into the lineup, replacing injured corner Chudi Zekwu, out with a shoulder injury. And Lau filling in, makes a big play, picking off St. Mary's quarterback, Jack Creighton.
University of Calgary has owned the football so far. Great field position thanks to that turnover.
Walter.
Up the middle. Matt Walter cranks out another 10.
Well, it's quickly becoming a long day for the St. Mary's defense. As you said, Rod, they've been on the field a long time and facing a physical ground attack from the Calgary Dinos. Combine that with a quarterback who runs around like Eric Glavich. It doesn't take long for a defensive line to get tired.
They'll measure this. From here it looked very close to a first down. Let's see if that's confirmed or not. It is. Well, make no mistake. I know people here in Halifax felt spurned by Blake Neal going to Calgary in the first place, and of course then taking some players along with him. Blake Neal was certainly responsible for turning around the program here at St. Mary's in many ways, but also has helped turn around this program at the U of C. A lot of success this year. 9-1 coming into the game. Glavich wants to take it himself, still throws the football. It's a good thing he threw that forward.
Yeah, a risky play from Eric Glavich. Certainly heads up in its intent to get rid of that football and avoid the lost yardage through a sack.
See some of that basketball skill there in him.
Yeah, there's been some talk that the University of Calgary basketball team has been attempting to recruit this young man as well.
Very, very quick feet, good arm, good head. Former Heck Crichton winner 2 years ago. 2nd and 10 from the pocket, going deep to the end zone, and it is a touchdown. Richard Snyder. 2 TDs last week, and he's riding some momentum right now. Snyder in the house for the major score.
Richard Snyder, number 34. This is exactly what he did last week against Saskatchewan. Just running straight down the field, go routes and seam routes, and the attention that gets attracted by the combination of Cohorn and Parker puts this guy in some pretty good matchup situations. Richard Snyder has responded by making plays when given the opportunity.
Well, the worst possible start right now for the home side. $12-0 score. All Dinos so far.
Be the top player of your future management team. Catch the opportunity of studying business in English and in French at Université Laval's Faculty of Business Administration in Quebec City. Increase your chances of employment in an internationally recognized and accredited business school. Join us and become bilingual in business at the Faculty of Business Administration of Université Laval. Visit fsa.ulaval.ca/English.
Well, we asked you about Blake Nill. Who did he coach before Calgary and St. Mary's? Question of the day brought to you by BlackBerry, and he was the coach of the X.
Yes, Blake Nill, former defensive coordinator at St. FX from 92 to 98. Also on that St. FX staff, Steve Samara.
Well, a lot of connections here today, and the connection that they used to love here to St. FX, Blake Nill, has brought his team into Husky Stadium. So far, they have dominated thanks to a turnover and the touchdown by Snyder. It's a 12-0 lead. A.J. Tufford and Devin Jones back. Tufford has the ball. Straight up the pipe. Brings it to the 35-yard line. This is an offense that has to get it going in a hurry. They've done nothing so far.
If for no reason, Rod, other than to give their defense a break. The defense has been on the field non-stop here in the first quarter.
This is the best start for the Huskies so far. They've been penned back every time. Haven't been able to establish their ground game. And they're going to have to throw the football a lot. And again, another dangerous toss. And Carl Hardwick also got hit in the back, so he's hurt. Let's go down to Paul Hollingsworth on the sideline. Paul?
Well, Rod, with the score of the first touchdown, Richard, tell us about the play, how it unfolded, how you developed that space in the end zone.
I mean, that was on the O-line for sure. That was great pass protection. Glad I got time to sit back there. I mean, you get that much time, someone's got to get open, right?
Thanks for this.
Thanks a lot.
20-year-old communications student at the University of Calgary. Richard Snyder's become a force the last few weeks.
Oh, this is a guy who had just 208 receiving yards during the regular season. He exceeded that in one game last week and looks well on his way here.
Gang tackled. There's Rasiopa, Aaron Rasiopa, and another two and gone, two and kick for the Huskies.
The Calgary Dinos just played, had them outnumbered. Here you look at the Dinos receiver, or the Dinos defenders coming in on this play. They've got the blockers and ball carrier completely outnumbered. No way that play was going anywhere.
Again, they are, for the most part, into the wind in this opening quarter, and just over 2 minutes to go. Momentum certainly riding with the men in red. There's a good kick by Pilardi, and that's the son of Blake Nill. Fumbled the ball and got it back. Taylor Nill.
Recovered by Calgary.
Dad on the sideline. Taylor Nill at one time was a ball boy here for the St. Mary's Huskies. Now getting a chance to catch footballs in the offense with Eric Glavich.
On that play, I guess he just wanted to retrieve the ball here at Husky Stadium one more time, like the old days. Taylor Nill started his high school career, in fact, here in Halifax, and was in Nova Scotia the Rookie of the Year before moving on to complete his career in Calgary.
There's that motion again. Penalty marker flew on the snap. Back to Taylor Nill, though. You know, obviously a different body type than his dad, Blake, a different type of a football player, and asked Blake before the game, said, well, now how did Taylor, you know, become a receiver through the years? And he said it was natural as a ball boy here at Husky Stadium.
Yeah, he spent his time obviously around the team a lot, hanging out with different guys. Well, one of those guys, Dave Stala, now with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and Dave Stala used to frequently take a young Taylor Nill aside and work with him on receiving drills and teaching him how to catch the football and so on. Now, the kid was clearly a quick study. He's had an impact here in the Dino offense this season.
This Dino offense has had an impact for sure so far. So with the penalty against St. Mary's, it'll be first down and 5 yards to go. Glavich behind center, Walter in the backfield. Glavich with a pump fake, looking for Parker, and overthrown. You can see the ball really sailing with this breeze.
Well, Eric Glavich saw an opportunity there, but was unable to capitalize. St. Mary's brought pressure. It was a halfback blitz coming from the weak side of the field. That created a little bit of space with one less defender back there for Anthony Parker. The quarterback and receiver just unable to connect on that play.
Second down and 5 from the 40, a whistle now. They will readjust the play clock, the 20-second clock. And the first quarter dominated by the Calgary Dinos and the officials.
Eric Glavich, after that scary moment early in the game when he left with a shoulder injury, has rebounded, showing no ill effects. Touchdown pass to Richard Snyder. No hesitation whatsoever from Glavich to go into contact either. This is the guy who hook slides when he gets on the run.
Social sciences student.
Tell him to run one.
Hails from Pickering, Ontario. Again, was at St. Mary's. And like so many of the players and coaches in this game, also family connections in football.
Yeah, Canadian Football League connections. First of all, one of his two older brothers, Sasha, backup safety with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Older brother, Marco, is a 4-year starter at Division I AA Lafayette University in the NCAA. One of the last Canadian quarterbacks, in fact, to be invited to the CFL's evaluation camp.
Again, here we go. Just over a minute left in the opening quarter. A lengthy one. Walter sprung and goodbye. He'll take it to the end zone for a touchdown. A penalty marker on the far side of the field. Will this come back? 69-yard romp by Matt Walter. The seas parted. It's a touchdown. Penalties against St. Mary's.
St. Mary's applied by Calgary.
Offside.
Touchdown.
St. Mary's.
Counts.
A penalty is declined. We have a touchdown, Calgary.
On this play, the halfback, Mark Holden, overruns because he's watching Anthony Parker, who's going across left to right on your screen on that end-around action again, that slot back sweep. Matt Walter comes back the other way, takes advantage of the fact that there's no contain there, nobody forcing him back to the inside. Away he goes for that touchdown, but we've seen the trend develop. Those receivers coming around the outsides and the space that they create for their running back.
Matt Walter takes it 69 yards. Another major for the Dinos. What an impressive first quarter of football. And now the St. Mary's Huskies are in a huge hole here. The only good thing, perhaps, is that there's still a lot of football here to play, and one big play could turn it around, but they've shown no signs of doing that offensively yet.
No, they certainly haven't. Another factor here, Husky Stadium is one of the most hostile environments in CIS football.
The dog pound.
And I'll tell you what, Eric Glavich, Matt Walter, and the rest of the Dinos have taken this crowd right out of the game.
Let's go down to the sideline once again and rejoin Paul.
Thank you, Rod, with Matt Walter, just breathless from a big run. Tell us about the touchdown as you took off when you saw daylight.
I'm not sure what the defense did there, but I didn't see a guy in sight, and just a inside run play turned into a touchdown.
Thanks for this.
Yeah.
Matt Walter. Another trek to the end zone. 9 TDs this season for number 9, and now another here in the Uteck Bowl. A.J. Tufford and Devin Jones back again. Highfield kicks it to Tufford.
Tufford.
Husky team desperate for any kind of spark right now.
Inside the 25. 6-yard line.
And all the talk this week, Dwayne Ford, about Blake Nill and those ex-Huskies, and of course Eric Glavich. And right now, the ex-Huskies taking it to their old mates.
Yeah, they look right at home coming back here.
Twin backs now. Creighton with a little power sweep here. Legier with the run, and this is a team that likes to run the football. Just haven't been able to do it, and you can't run the football when you're also down 19.
Well, you can when you're down 19 and you've got 45 minutes to go, and that's something St. Mary's needs to keep in mind. Perhaps allow their running backs to get in a rhythm. They've got a pretty good three-headed monster in that backfield, and Craig Legier and the Jones boys, Milson's sons, Devin, Tristan, all with very similar stats. Devin actually the AUS conference rushing champ, with Legier and Tristan Jones not far behind.
Just trying to get their feet under them here. Legier now plows, and there's a first down, and maybe that's the spark they need. That's the end of the first quarter. A long one, especially for the hometown Huskies. 19-0. University of Calgary leading the way.
This SportsCenter update is brought to you by the Chevrolet Equinox $1 Million Shootout. Enter at tsn.ca/Equinox.
Get you back to the football in just a second. Corey Warren back inside the SportsCenter newsroom. The early edition coming your way after this game. Let's get you up to speed with some events going on in the NHL this afternoon. Flames and Kings. 2-1 LA in the second. Flames on a 5-on-3. And how about the feed from Jay Bouwmeester? Jerome McGinley, second of the game. It's all tied at 2 in the second. Now, earlier today, the Mitchell Bowl between Laval and Queens. Third quarter, Laval misses the field goal. Jimmy Allen brings it out, finds a seam, and is gone. 120 yards for the touchdown. A 10-point swing on the play. Queens wins 33-30. They will advance to next week's Vanier Cup. Now, back to the NHL. The Senators will be without Alex Kovalev tonight against the Sabres, and the Habs may be missing Scott Gomez as they take on the Red Wings. We'll have more details coming up on SportsCenter.
Busted, Santa! Bouncy Feet worked like a charm.
But
No buts. Crystal clear picture, 100 HD channels, gets you every time. Yeah, every time.
So, seriously, cookies?
100 HD channels with stunning picture quality, the most in Canada.
And there's the snap. McPherson drops back. He dodges his tackle. He barely gets in the way. And wow, what a he crosses midfield. He takes the hard hand turn and the ball goes. Wait, gets the ladder on the road. Breaks the tackle to the 10, the 5, one man releases.
The journey continues with the all-new Rebel T1i, the only camera in its class to shoot in full HD video, inspired by Canon.
Game of numbers. They spell it out right now. Our quarter numbers brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, proud partner of the CIS.
I'm picturing a bunch of people at home trying to tilt their TVs to the right a little bit to even things up. This isn't one of those games where the stats truly do tell the story, particularly that time of possession. Over 10 minutes. This Calgary Dinos had the football in the first quarter. Absolutely dismantling St. Mary's thus far.
Eric Lavich banged up early on, the mop-haired quarterback, former Heck Crichton winner. Took a first down on the final play of the first quarter for the Huskies to finally move the yardsticks today. Creighton the handoff, but right into the swarm of Dinos. Legier again. From Salmon River, Nova Scotia. Arts student. So it's second down and a long 9 yards. So throwing down here for the Huskies. St. Mary's yet to complete a pass. Until now. Rasiopa.
Pass complete to Rasiopa.
And he's got, well, now the official hasn't given him a favorable spot. Knocked out of bounds just before the first down marker, and down 19 and facing third down. Really only one choice right now. You got to start getting some momentum on your side.
Yeah, there's no question. It's pretty tough to catch up if you keep giving the other team the football, and with less than a yard to go here, this is going to be a no-brainer for Steve Samara.
Bringing in the big guys now.
They've got to maintain possession, generate some drives, generate first downs, and eventually generate some points.
Twin backs, Creighton behind center. Calling for Rasiopa to go to the right side. And looks like some confusion and personnel problem there. And Devin Jones had to scamper to the sideline, and Creighton has to burn a timeout here.
I watched Steve Samara on the St. Mary's sideline as that was unfolding, and he just dropped his head in frustration. A good decision by his quarterback, recognizing how critical a situation this is for his team, but a situation that you'd like to think is simple enough that you don't have to burn a timeout. I suspect Calgary lined up a little bit differently than what the St. Mary's Huskies saw on defense. Saw on film during the week.
Blackberry, Mitsubishi, Wilson.
Well, the Calgary D comes up with a stuff here. This could be a Husky killer early in this ball game. Still a lot of time left. So here we go with a third down play now. Third and just under a yard. Devin Jones in the backfield. Creighton likely to lunge himself. He does. But there's a penalty marker. Somebody moved.
Creighton carried the ball. It's a flag.
And it's against Calgary, so it's a first down.
Predictably, in one of these third and short situations, defensive line always trying to gain any kind of edge they can.
We have no flag. 57 reported as eligible. First down, St. Mary's.
No flag. First down for the Huskies.
So the initial flag was thrown because of an ineligible number lined up in an eligible position, basically an offensive lineman playing a receiver position. But they realized after throwing the flag that he had in fact reported to the officials before the play.
St. Mary's trying to get into Calgary territory for the first time today, and they do. Jameek Murray, number 10, carrying over the midfield stripe.
Well, Jameek Murray is the St. Mary's Huskies answer to a Larry Taylor, Andrew Hawkins type, who CFL fans will see for the Montreal Alouettes tomorrow. Dynamic kick returner, gets some plays in at receiver as well. He was the AUS Rookie of the Year in 2008. And a guy who's broken my heart firsthand. I actually coached high school football against Jameek Murray in Mississauga. I'll just say his team won.
You got fired, obviously. 2nd and 8, Creighton. Quick one and knocked down, but a penalty marker. Might be interference down the field against Calgary.
Headed for Worsley.
Cam Worsley was the intended target.
Worsley is the outside receiver on this play, closest to the sidelines. He's being defended by Steve Truzak on that play.
Creighton got hit late, but the penalties against Chase Moore. Downfield.
Illegal contact on an eligible receiver.
And
Calgary, number 42, up 10 yards. First down, St. Mary's.
Moore was defending further down the field. That's where the flag flew. It was a great defensive play by Truzak on Worsley.
You know, you get a feeling, though, and I know Steve Samara would, and I know Husky fans probably would like to get the ball in the end zone, put points on the board right away, but because they haven't been on the field very much, just giving their defense a rest right now is critical. But also to sustain some type of confidence and momentum, that's something they haven't been able to do until this drive.
Yeah, a string of positive plays goes a long way towards erasing some of the doubt that must be going through the minds of the Husky players.
Got off to a horrendous start here in the first quarter. Murray again, and ran into his own player, Cam Worsley.
Jameek Murray, as we suggested, a guy you like to get the football to in space. That's exactly what Jack Crichton does here on that hitch screen. Nice block right at the initial point of attack by his fellow receiver, Carl Hardwick. That springs him, but as Murray tries to get to the outside, Cam Worsley is just getting to his feet right in his path.
That's not the kind of block you want to make as a receiver. So throwing down, 2nd and 7. Here's the rush, and there's Worsley making up for it. To the red zone go the Huskies. That was the best thrown football by Jack Crichton so far.
Well, Cam Worsley lines up wide to the right, a trips formation, 3 receivers to that side. The other receivers clear out, he comes underneath. The big York University transfer picks up another. St. Mary's first down.
Worsley going out wide right. Rasiopa wide left. Devin Jones with his first carry. Again, the son of former CFLer Milson Jones, his brother Tristan also on this team. Taken kind of a wayward path to get to St. Mary's.
Well, they have both Tristan and Devin Jones starred with the Edmonton Wildcats in the Canadian Junior Football League. Backfield partners there. And then Devin followed older brother Tristan to Dickinson State University in North Dakota for a year. Last year, Devin came to St. Mary's, found a role in their backfield. Tristan briefly attended Laval. Things didn't work out there. He moved on to join his little brother here with the Huskies in 09.
Second down. Rasiopa spinning and is going to be shy of a first down. And in the backfield, an injured Husky. Offensive lineman is down. And it's decision time for Steve Samara. And the Huskies, do they settle for a field goal here, or are they going to? It's third down and less than a yard.
Yeah, they've got to go for it. The situation, the injured player is backup offensive lineman Paul Katsados. Ends up getting tossed at the end of the play. Falls into the quarterback, Crichton, fortunate not to blow out his quarterback's knee.
Boy, is he ever.
Like a shoulder or elbow injury. The big O lineman, native of Hamilton.
They put together an impressive drive here. It started with that first down that they achieved at the end of the first quarter. Just takes a little spark. Trying to get their crowd into it. They have come. You can see the sideline. They're like 7-8 deep on the sideline on the track that surrounds this field. Time to see if their Huskies can get to the Vanier Cup. Third down, 1 yard to go. Crichton will hand it off, and up the middle goes Devin Jones, who did not play last week. He actually is coming off a suspension.
Yeah, Devin Jones has sat out the last 2 weeks due to a suspension, suspended for an intent to injure penalty for a block he threw against St. FX's Yaya Dalul, defensive end. He blocked the player at a time when he had his helmet off. Initially, it was a 3-game suspension, which would have caused Jones to miss the Uteck Bowl, but an appeal had it reduced to 2, allowing him to be on the field here today.
Jones in the backfield again, and will get the handoff. Steamrolls to the goal line. And it will be second and goal. Just under 10 minutes to go before halftime.
As the Calgary Dinos are finding out, Devin Jones is a bit of a load when he carries that football. Built much like his dad, former CFLer Milson Jones, 5'11", 238 pounds.
Well, will they give it to Devin again here? 12th play of this drive. Go up the middle, and it's going to be third down now. They did not get into the end zone. Creighton trying to take it himself.
Creighton tries to go over the top. Good push inside from that Calgary defensive line.
Here's the biggest play early in this ball game for the St. Mary's Huskies.
The officials waved this one dead to reset the football. Here we go.
And touchdown, Devin Jones. Finds his way in. And the St. Mary's Huskies are back in it.
Well, they sure are. And give Devin Jones all sorts of credit on this one. He took a shot in the backfield. There was penetration. I believe it was Chase Moore coming from the right side of your screen, number 42. Gets underneath Devin Jones. But the big running back keeps his balance. Second effort. Gets him in and gets the Huskies back in this ball game.
13-play drive, 83 yards. Most importantly, 6 minutes and 11 seconds. They didn't have the football for 6-11 in the entire first quarter.
Well, they accomplished 3 critical things on that drive. 1, confidence. 2, a break for their defense. And number 3, points.
19-7 now for Calgary.
Alphonse Desjardins, born in Lévis in 1854, the 8th child in a family of 15. In 1900, he has an idea to ensure individuals' financial stability through strength in numbers and mutual support. And now, we're nearly 6 million members. Today, that's called sustainable development. Anyway, if he were alive today, I'd definitely invite him to our end-of-term party. Nice mustache.
It's more than a bank, it's Desjardins.
Welcome back to Husky Stadium in Halifax. 19-7 Calgary leads St. Mary's. Devin Jones scoring a touchdown just seconds ago for the Huskies. From a momentum standpoint, your team had none before that touchdown. How big of a play is that in this game?
It's huge. We just established that we can push them back, and we will continue to do so all game until we've won.
Thank you for this.
Thank you.
Well, big play there by Devin Jones. Couple of big runs, and St. Mary's Huskies have life. Very tight first quarter. Started out poorly offensively, and Dinos took it to them. Anthony Parker from his 5-yard line, and he's chopped down at the 20 by Phil Cormier. Let's take a look at the touchdown drive.
Well, this got started with a couple of pass completions from quarterback Jack Creighton. Got things going underneath the Cam Worsley, Aaron Rasiopa. Devin Jones with a couple of big short yardage conversions along the way, culminating in that 1-yard touchdown plunge.
Boy, the apple does not fall far, huh? Watching him reminds me so much of watching his dad play, Milson Jones. Had a Grey Cup in Saskatchewan, played in Winnipeg and Edmonton. Now Eric Lavich. This offense hasn't been on the field in quite some time. Matt Walter, who had an earlier touchdown.
The Dinos continue to feed their running back. One of the guys defending him, Devin Hicks. It's been a great story this year for the St. Mary's Huskies defense.
Who, by the way, led the blocking for Devin Jones on that last drive.
Hicks has some experience as a running back from his high school days in Florida.
From some mean streets down there, didn't he, in Dade City?
Certainly did. A guy who's overcome that rough background.
Second down, 4 yards to go. Walter again, left side. There he goes. The Matt Walter show continues. He finds a spot or an edge or a hole, he explodes.
Well, he sure does, but again, continues to get help because of the other threats showing in that Calgary backfield. In this case, it's quarterback Eric Lavich who goes in that bootleg action. You've got a defender completely ignoring the ball carrier right behind him, as he's afraid of the quarterback Lavich on the run.
Into Husky territory. Dinos from the St. Mary's 44. Lavich slinging one for Parker, who got tripped up near the 20-yard line, so it's incomplete. Canada West All-Star Anthony Parker. Blake Neal told me before the game, he said he is one of those players that you are going to see in the Canadian Football League down the road. He practically could make it to the CFL today.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that if things continue the way they have gone for Anthony Parker through his college career thus far, this is a guy who's going to be a high pick in the 2011 Canadian Football League draft. Certainly one of the best receivers available in that crop.
Big play for St. Mary's D now. Lavich hangs in over the middle. Nice catch made by another one of those guys that Blake Neal talks about of being an instant CFLer. That's Nathan Kuhorn.
Yeah, And these two guys have, as we said earlier, dominated the receiving stats for the University of Calgary this season. Nice job on this play by left guard Quinn McCoggan. Picking up blitz. Bouncing from one to the other, eventually going back to that late rush. Secondary blitz. Good feet, good reaction. Most importantly, often overlooked for an offensive lineman, good eyes, aware of what's going on around him. Can't get your head buried in the block.
Well, there's an injured Husky. Andrew Dory is down. We'll come back to St. Mary's. 7 minutes to go before halftime.
Whether you're setting up in the starting blocks, driving to the basket with a killer crossover, snapping the leather at the scrimmage line, setting up your teammate for a spike, or letting everyone know how you feel about the world's greatest team, Centaur Products gets you in the game. Centaur Products, providing sport contracting solutions since 1973.
Sun peeking out now. St. Mary's University campus, Husky Stadium. Semi-final Saturday today. Winner goes on to the Vanier Cup in Laval next week. First and 10. Glavich on the roll. Throws to Parker. And stretching very close to a first down again. And see some of that prodigious talent. Number 33 as he accepts that football. Stretches out.
Anthony Parker, another son of former CFLer. His dad, Anthony Parker, former running back, the BC Lions. Anthony Parker is one of the backside receivers on this play, meaning Glavich was rolling to his right. Parker initially was lined up on the left, and it's nice patience by Glavich, the fifth-year quarterback, when neither of his front side players came open to start to look to the guys on the backside. And again, good effort by Parker. You never want to quit just because you're not the primary guy on the play. It still might be coming your way.
Glavich was maybe thinking about a freebie here on second and length of a football, and then took a timeout instead. Oh, there they are, sitting up in the dog pound. And tomorrow night, Sunday Night Football, the Philadelphia Eagles are in Chicago to take on the Bears. It's 7:30 Eastern start, 4:30 Pacific. All the folks here, well, they love their university football in the Maritimes.
The question always lingers, will they get a chance to love some CFL football here somewhere in the future?
You've got to think it's going to happen. It was in Ottawa earlier this week. That city is off the charts. A lot of the football fever back, knowing that very good chance that the CFL will come back to the nation's capital in 2013. They have talked certainly in the past about the CFL coming to Halifax. It may come to the Maritimes, but I don't necessarily think that it's in Halifax.
Well, no, with that regular season game being played next year in Moncton, and over the years there has been a lot of talk that if there is eventually an Atlantic Canadian Football League team, that may be the locale.
So again, second short yardage for Glavich. Walter behind him in the backfield. And he will burn one. He's going to the end zone for Parker. And a penalty interference call just at the last moment. Mark Holden may have shielded Parker as he was trying to catch that football. Flag flew, so Calgary will continue to move the football, and it's exactly what happened.
Yeah, the key to this play, Mark Holden sees Parker go up, and he just opts to take the flag rather than give up the touchdown. playing the receiver, not even turning to look back.
I know you like that call, though. On second down, short, go after it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Take a shot, maybe catch someone on their heels. And that's exactly what they did. Man coverage. Anthony Parker gets in behind Mark Holden on the play.
So the interference call in the end zone. Ball will go down to the 4-yard line. 19-7. Steve Samaros.
Offside.
St. Mary's Huskies trailing 19-7. Samaras.
St. Mary's.
Old buddy. Blake Nill. And they don't even talk anymore, apparently.
No, they have both said it's a case where, yes, we're still friends, but it hasn't been the best of times.
No.
Definitely a strained relationship at this point between the two.
Walter, touchdown, Calgary.
Touchdown, Walter.
This time from 4 yards, earlier from 69, and Matt Walters 2 touchdowns. 5.5 to go before halftime extends the Dinos lead.
Well, much like the longer touchdown run, the defense is forced to spread out. You'll see Anthony Parker run behind. That forces the ends to stay in contained position. Nobody can pinch down to the inside where Matt Walter is. He goes in, this time from 5 yards, standing up.
How big of a factor is Matt Walter so far? 2 touchdowns, 11 carries, 172 yards. And we're not even at halftime. 26-7, Calgary leads.
Be the top player of your future management team. Catch the opportunity of studying business in English and in French at Université Laval's Faculty of Business Administration in Quebec City. Increase your chances of employment in an internationally recognized and accredited business school. Join us and become bilingual in business at the Faculty of Business Administration of Université Laval. Visit fsa.ulaval.ca/English.
Calgary Dinosaurs respond right away. The Dinos march right back, answer the bell. After St. Mary's gets on the board, it's 26-7. 5.5 minutes to go before halftime.
We've seen this offensive showcase from the Calgary Dinos and talked about all the different weapons they have. This is a team that's played all year without one of their most dangerous players, Anthony Woodson, who's been out all season with shoulder and foot injuries, hasn't played at all.
Shortish kick with backspin. And A.J. Tufford did touch the football. It will be Calgary football. And it's going wrong again for St. Mary's. What a kick that was. Now, did Tufford touch that ball?
It's a kickoff. It's live.
Highfield was downfield.
Two Dinosaur players were the first ones to touch the football.
Ty Noble. The first guy downfield, and so Matt Walter again. Bursting up the middle.
So right after one drive, the St. Mary's defense has to go right back out and try to defend against Matt Walter in this Dino offense. The look on Steve Samara's face says it all. They thought they had grabbed a little bit of momentum.
Seized right back immediately. He's bringing his defense over right now for a little conversation as the ball is now inside the 15-yard line. This could be a major dagger before halftime. like they got a problem with the stadium clock right now.
The time has been ticking down on the stadium clock during this timeout.
Yeah, they got it back now. That ticked down to 0. Now back to where it should be. Glavich now in the shotgun. 5 receivers set with Walter. Play action. And thrown behind the intended target. Buhorn unable to get to it. Eric Glavich again earlier in this ball game. The way he went down looked like he might not be coming back.
Yeah, Glavich took a heck of a shot from Devin Hicks as he threw a deep pass. Pass was intercepted, but the hit to the head.
Walter that. Again, 2nd down, so they'll bring the field goal team out now on 3rd down.
That qualifies as a victory for the St. Mary's defense. If Aaron Ifield can convert on this field goal try. Still a gamble that paid off for the Dinos with that short kick, the blooper into some open space that they were able to recover.
Field goal is good.
No problem for Ifield. Let's show you again. Ty Noble, number 4, watch him onside and unblocked, and here's the kick by Ifield.
Yeah, and regardless of what you expect to have happen, somebody's got to be blocking. Ty Noble, number 4 in this scheme, when the ball is kicked to the left side of the return, there's nobody there to block, and that's why he's free to get to that football. Regardless of whether you expect the ball to be kicked short or deep or anything else, 2nd man in from the sidelines, he's got to be accounted for somewhere.
Lugier in the backfield. Play action from Creighton. Escapes. Son of former NHLer Adam Creighton. Scrambling out of the pocket, picks up a few yards. Incumbent now on the St. Mary's Huskies to answer again. They have to put some points on the board before halftime.
Well, they sure do. We thought that they had grabbed that momentum with that long drive. Calgary did a nice job responding to that, first with a touchdown drive, then recovering the kick, the ensuing kickoff, following up with a field goal. So 10 unanswered Calgary points since that St. Mary's touchdown.
Over the middle, taking a hit, hanging on is Carl Hardwick. But he will be shy of the 1st down.
Hardwick did a nice job to hang on to the football and keep his feet. That big collision as he came across the middle with Calgary linebacker Jeff Paymont.
Justin Pilardi will come out, number 75, and kick this away. And Blake Nill's son, Taylor, is back to return, and the wind is really starting to howl now. Pilardi will have the benefit of a breeze behind him. Almost had it blocked. What a kick. And Taylor Nill just steps out of bounds. Just over 3 minutes to